we've got some news on Boruto, and even though the news is not much, it actually gives us a broad view of which direction they are taking the anime in. So for those people who do not like spoilers or haven't even read the manga, I suggest you leave right now because I'm going to be talking spoilers about both, alright? Okay, cool. So the anime does not exactly air certain events in chronological order, so the timeline that they have released officially explains what happens in a chronological order. So let's talk about what it says. Alright, so the first thing that actually happens is the Mitsuki one shot, where he figures out who his son is, or at least whether Boruto is his son or not, and then he comes to Konoha looking for Boruto, right? So when Mitsuki comes to Konoha, he is put on a mission to look for Sumire and then take her back to Orochimaru, but then he gets instructed to kill her. So that's when the Sumire Niue arc happens, and Naruto Gaiden follows, where Sarada tries to figure out who is her mother and all the secrets behind her mother's actions. Following that is the Hidden Mist arc, where we get introduced to the bootleg 7 swordsmen who get taken down easily. And then after that is the current arc that we are in, which is the formation of the new Team 7 or Team konohamaru, right? So after that, right, the timeline actually reveals that the next arc is the Chunin exam, which we have actually seen some promo for, so that is actually not news. But the thing is that after that arc comes the Mujina Bandits arc, with the question is how many episodes until we reach the Chunin exam arc. And the thing is that currently they want to give us the Genin experience before they even become Chunin, because it wouldn't make sense for them to become Genin and then the next episode they become Chunin, right? So they need to get their team together and the formations right before they can hope to pass on a Chunin exam, because becoming a Chunin has nothing to do with strength but your ability to assess. At this moment, they are going to do these short missions until we actually get the mission about the bear that looks like a panda, right? And after we get the episode about Shikadai's doubts, that same week is usually when we get new summaries for the upcoming episodes, and I think maybe in there, and just maybe, we will get information about the Chunin exam arc or the next upcoming missions for Team Konohamaru. Also, I think we are going to see the difference between the movie or the manga version of the movie arc or the Chunin arc compared to what they are going to do in the anime, because now we have Urashiki who will be a part of the edition. So I think the ending is going to be slightly different but still remain the same. And also, I wonder what they are going to do with the character, personality transition between Sarada and Sumire, because there was a huge difference between their personalities in the anime and the manga. I mean, they went from rational girls aiming to achieve their goals in the anime to serve me that raw meat in the manga. Also, Iwabe, Denki, Wasabi, Namida are nowhere to be seen within the manga, but they are within the anime. So I wonder how they are gonna transition and add that within the anime as it goes forward. If you forgot, Boruto actually has the eye right now, which he has activated multiple times by mistake on top of the seal that he is about to get by defeating Momoshiki. So he has 2 things, and in the manga he actually has 1, or at least he knows of 1 at the moment. So I want to know how they are going to do that as well. If you pay attention to the timeline, all they are doing at the moment are arcs, right? So they say there is a Kara arc, which we have on the timeline right here, and that makes me question whether Kara is just going to be just another arc where they defeat Kara and then Boruto moves on to another arc, or maybe it's going to be like a long-term thing. And the thing is, just because Kara has something to do with the seals and Kawaki has one doesn't necessarily mean that Kawaki is part of Kara. He may be a totally different person with a completely different motive from Kara, and he just ended up with the marks accidentally, just like Boruto did. So if that is the case, then there might be actually 2 forces at play when it comes to the destruction of Konoha, and that would actually be more exciting than just one group targeting Konoha, and it's just gonna be like the Akatsuki vs Konoha and the entire world all over again. I don't really want that to be the motive, because if that is the case, then they are basically rehashing Naruto, because Naruto, well, the second part is all about the Akatsuki, a terrorist group going after Jinchurikis to collect tail beasts, right? And if Kara are going after the seals, then it is basically like the Akatsuki, but they are just going for the seals, and Boruto has a seal, thus making him a victim, just like the Akatsuki victimized Naruto since he was a Jinchuriki. Like, that would be going in the same direction as Naruto Shippuden, and I hope that Kara's goal was just to destroy a lot of nations who came into their way, and Konoha is just one of the nations that they had to destroy because they posed the biggest threat. And then maybe Kawaki just comes in to help Kara destroy Konoha, so he can use that opportunity to carry out his separate motives. Like, that would be something more original. If they they are not going to go into the direction of a long-term villain like Naruto Shippuden, then that would be good, because that actually paves way for new things, like say for example new villains with new motives and new locations that Boruto has to travel in order to grow. And then maybe Konoha being destroyed is just one of the many arcs that we have to experience and all that kind of stuff. So that also introduces us to new characters if they go outside Konoha, so that is a good thing if they decide to go in that direction. So overall, the news actually gives us one positive and one negative. Alright, so let's start with the negative. The negative is that as the manga is monthly, right, the anime will eventually surpass the manga. So I want to know what direction they're going to go with that, because people will lose interest in the manga once the anime surpasses it, since the anime is weekly and the manga is monthly, right? So that is the issue for the manga. And the positive is that Kodachi is actually focusing on the manga and the anime at the moment, so he has to actually write stuff for both. And if the anime surpasses the manga, then that means that he only has to focus on one thing, which is the anime, and then everything that happens in the anime is just gonna go directly in the manga. So Ikimoto only has to watch the anime and all the stuff done in there and put that into the manga, so that is less stressed on both of them, and that is the positive. With that being said, that has been all the news for now. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like, subscribe, and share the video. With that being said, I have nothing more to say. Bye.